Welcome back to part 2 of this Analysis Modelling Fundamentals course. Now let's look at merging our additional company's data with our company's data into a single table. We'll do a deduplication as well, and we'll base this upon IDs. From the toolbar, click this menu, and we'll drag a merge table onto the canvas. I'll call mine All Company Data. Connect the company's data to the merge. And in the pipe settings, we need to tell Phixflow what we'll be using as the merge criteria. Add the attributes to the sort group section. Here we'll be using the primary key, our company ID, but it is possible to use more criteria for things such as fuzzy matching on a name, or additional criteria to make matches more specific, like adding a name or some address information, for example. This will be covered in more detail in our full analysis course, which you can find on our Learning Centre. Save your changes. The merge has no attributes. We can create these manually, like we saw earlier, but I'll use a faster technique. From the hover over menu on the companies table, click Attributes, and we'll drag all of the attributes over the merge. For the company's data, I'll also make this static, so we sustain the data. On my pipe, I'll also make another change. Here, I'm going to change the data to read from latest to all. Because the company's data is transactional when we created it on our ERD diagram, we want all data because we don't want to just look at the latest record set, we want to see all the data that users have updated. Save our changes. We'll now connect the additional company's process to the merge. Note the attributes we merge on don't need to match by name. The merge keys are merged based on the order they appear. So again, we'll use our company ID and drag that into our sort group. And save our changes. Let's take a look at our all company data. This is currently set to pull all its data from the in pipe, and we need it to pull data from both pipes, and where a duplicate is found, decide which record to keep. First we state the merge key, and this is the attribute we merged on. The syntax of this is _key square brackets 1 square brackets. The number increments with each key. So if I had a second key, perhaps a name, then this would be _key square brackets 2 square brackets. So let's open up the company ID, and we'll change this from being in.CompanyID to our key name. Now I want in_2 to be my master data, so that if I do find a duplicate record, I'll keep the record from the in_2 pipe. Open the first attribute, and we'll state the following. The script can be found in the description section of this video. Here we're using the ifNull function again. So the if in_2 is null, we then use the in.CompanyName. Repeat this for the remaining attributes. If you do have a large number of attributes, there is an alternative programmatic way that we can set this up, but it's beyond the scope of this course. So now we're ready to run analysis. Before I do so, I'm just going to make additional companies process static, as we want to persist the data there as well. So let's run our analysis. And we can see the database icon indicating that we've run analysis successfully, and we have some records in our table. So if you want to know how many records you have in your tables, what you can do is from the hover over menu, you can click the record set option here, and this will indicate how many records you have. So I can see here I have 346 records. So if I now go back and check our companies, I've got 301 there because we're looking across all data sets. And here, if we look at our record sets, I've got 50 coming from here. Now the reduction in numbers is just a result of our deduplication. Finally, let's look at our record sets again. So I've been continually running analysis on my merge table and other tables. And now if it's all the same data, I can safely roll this back. Typically, if it's test data, it's not a problem to roll the whole thing back, and you'll find detailed instructions on this in the context help. So if you do need to roll back all of your test data, hover over the table you want to roll back, and then the record sets, right click and say rollback record set. There are a number of options here, but typically for test data, we'd roll back all data and untick keep record sets. And what this will do is it will remove all of the record sets that we've generated. Now if we try and look at the default view, you'll see there are no records in there. If you want to regenerate your record sets, you simply run analysis again. This is a very useful technique when you're testing out your analysis models. You can run parts of the model, roll back the data, and then continue. So that brings us to the end of this video on analysis models. You will find some very useful links in the context help, and there are videos available on our Learning Centre that will help you with some of these topics as well. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.